What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Box with CJT Creations. And I have a special guest today, Mr. Joe Voge, right? I said it right?
Yep, that's it. You got it.
Perfect. And we go way back from high school, so this is the Cane Bay days. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's cool to do this interview. I don't remember the last time. Like, I know we've spoken, like, through message and stuff like that throughout the years, but like in person, I probably haven't seen you since probably 13. Like,
graduation.
You know. So, but like I've definitely been, keeping in touch. Like, not keeping. Well, yes, I've been keeping in touch, but like keeping track of like your career and kind of seeing the cool things that you do. I know recently on your IG you were trying to show some like some designs and stuff like that. I was like, that's really dope. Like, especially people I know who are doing like art and like I try to keep tabs of a lot of people in high school, see what people are doing. But you're definitely one of the people I've been like one of your supporters, like, back to seeing you doing what you do. So
the OG cool kid days when I was coming up. Not too many people remember it, but yeah, the OG cool kid days.
That I love the hat. I bought the hat. That was really dope. I was waiting for. Did you drop any more stuff since that? Like,
I dropped some shirts, but I stopped doing it in probably like 2014.
Okay.
But you guys will hear it first. I have. You guys will hear it second because I told the other podcast that but I'm releasing a clothing brand before the year is out. So stay on the lookout. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll be one of the first to know when it drops.
That's dope. Yeah, that's awesome. We're gonna get a little second exclusive. I still consider it exclusive. That's awesome. Yeah, because I really like the hat. My brother even my brother loved it. Like, he was like, "Hey, can I wear that hat?" And I'm like, "I guess." So I have to. I think I have the picture on my IG if I'm not mistaken. I'll probably pop it up in the edit. Just to look like. But yeah, that's cool. So we already kind of jump in. So like you have, the Cool Kid Days, which is like kind of like a design company. Yeah. Would you consider that like a graphic design? What would you want to do now with this next launch? Like, what does that look like for you?
So for me, I'm not going to say the name. I'm going to keep it secret just yet, Okay. But the name translates, it has two translations, which is a cool thing. One thing it translates to is believe, and the other thing it translates to is just create. And for me, it's always been a big thing for me, especially going through high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do growing up. I just know I like to create stuff. Right. But when I did the first amount of shirts and hats and stuff like that, it was like the cool thing to do because it was just like, oh yeah, I'm coming up. It's cool to say I have a clothing brand, but it had no like substance or message behind it. Right. Now it's just like, okay, I want to have this to kind of show people behind me, like give them a path of just like, hey, if you can believe it, if you can think it, you can create it, anything's possible. You can do anything that you want to do. So, kind of also to help the generation behind me of like, hey, you don't have to necessarily play sports or, make music or anything in specific to make it out of your situation. You can sell shirts. You can sell socks. You can do whatever you want to do. Just as long as you have the belief behind it and you're creative enough, you can do it.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Like, that's an awesome message because like there's so many people that I see that kind of fall into the same cycle of like, all right, I did what I was supposed to do in school. Like, I finished, but like now I don't really know what to do. But it's like people kind of don't want to take that leap. They don't want to take the leap to doing something like, hey, I kind of have this interest in this, but like my mom, my dad, people say it's kind of dumb. It's like one of those outlandish ideas. So I don't really want to do it, just because there's so many outer forces that saying like, no, like get you a 9 to 5 and, get something with benefits so that you're, stable. And I get it. Your parents want you to be stable. They want you to not have to struggle. But at the same time, if it's not going to make you happy and you're not going to be miserable, exactly, there's no point. And that's a big thing. I'm a big advocate in following your dreams and happiness because like I've been to those moments to where like literally I'm miserable. And I've tried and I've looked, different places to try to find, happiness here and there. And I found film, video, and I've been enjoying it. I've been pushing forward as much as I can.
It's always one of those things like people were. It's because like they're scared for you. You don't have the passion for it like you do. So it's like I have the passion for like I could do this in my sleep. So it's just like they're kind of putting their fears on you as well. So it's just like this. You know what I'm saying? This is your fear. I know I can do it. So just if I fall, let me fall. I'll just have to pick myself up.
Yeah, failure is expected, and I think that's the thing that like you're going to fail at some things, but you can't let failure stop you dead in your tracks, because failure will tell you, all right, that didn't work. All right, let's go a little bit to the right and let's push forward even more. Sometimes people get failure the first time and just be like, yeah, that's it. I failed at one time. Like, no, like keep going. Like that happens. This didn't work. Now let's do the business plan a little bit different and just keep it launching. Let's keep it going.
It's all about persistence. That's all it is. Look, if that's what you want to do, if you want to sell oranges on the side of the road, sell the heck out them oranges, bro. Like, I don't care. As long as you're doing something, you know what I'm saying, something positive, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Exactly. So let's go back a little bit to high school days. So you were saying like before, like you didn't really have a lot of, I guess you said you wasn't really interested in kind of graphic design in high school. What kind of interest did you have back in high school, back in the Cane Bay days?
So back in high school, I had so many things. I was like, well, I didn't play football. Well, officially, I didn't play football. So I was like, I can't make it out. I ran track, but I wasn't good enough in track to make it. So I'm like, I literally have no idea what the heck I'm about to do. I was into music, but I wasn't into like production or anything like that. I was into skateboarding. So I was like, I could just be a pro skater and stick with that. I still skate here and there, but I'm just like, nah, that wasn't it. So I was just like, what the heck, dude? What can I do? I was in the comics. I was in the anime, all that other stuff. And I'm just like, I have no idea. Until I started getting to the shirts. And I was like, like I said before, I was making designs on Microsoft Paint. Literally had no idea what it was called. I was like, I just like designing this stuff. And I did some research. I found out it was graphic design. I was like, this is a thing.
Right. Oh. That's pretty cool to like, you gravitated towards something without even knowing that it's something that you can actually do for a career and do full time. And that's really awesome. Like you just kind of have this natural inkling to do it.
Yeah.
And so was Cool Kids the first kind of like step into like, I guess big step into graphic design? Like what was your first kind of like did you do professionally? Did you go to school for it or did you just kind of self-taught?
So at the beginning I was self-taught. I was still designing stuff. I was sketching stuff out, but at the time I didn't have the programs, like any of the Adobe programs. So I was like, I don't know what the heck to do. I took maybe a quarter of the year, maybe 3/4 of the year, to where I was designing stuff. And after that, I moved to Atlanta to live with my dad. And that's when I went to Art Institute. Went there for 2 years, learned the basics of design, and just kind of dropped out because I had to choose between school and work. So I was just like, I need to pay my bills. Yeah, I had to pay my bills. So I was like, let me just go ahead and just kind of drop out. And I still kept designing on the side, which was a cool thing. But I think with me learning the fundamentals in those 2 years, I think that was the cool thing because I learned pretty much the basics of it. And I had to write a paper on like why they should accept me into school. And I literally started using Cool Kid. I put up the pictures of like the shirts and stuff I designed. I was like, well, here's why this is what this information is going to. And the dean was like, you know what? I like this. I like you weren't even using the correct programs, but you already have an inclination for it. So it was like, they let me in. I dropped out still, but they let me in. Those 2 years, I think, were the coolest 2 years of school where I was just like, I felt free and I learned every day. And then I just took that information and kind of ran with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think a lot of the times, because like I also so when I went back, so I was in South Carolina, graduate, but I moved back to Maryland after my high school days, or at least after my freshman year at Charleston Southern. That's when I kind of start to learn filmmaking. Like I didn't know about filmmaking at all until I moved to Maryland. And you learn those basics. You kind of use, it really kind of I would say kindles the fire, and you
Yeah.
have to be the one to kind of keep it going. And
Yeah.
I think, sometimes, some people need, 4 years of school or to keep going, but like sometimes you just need to learn, all right, how does this work? How does this work? Oh, I met this person. I met this person. Bet, let's get it.
So that was the funny thing. It was just like I've met people, and I had like that thing in class where like my teachers were really cool, and they would go step by step. But I was always that one student that would be like 6 steps ahead. They'd be like, how'd you get here? We didn't even touch that yet. How'd you get here? I was like, I don't know. I just started messing with stuff. So
Right.
that was the thing where I was just like, I'm gonna figure this out either way. Either if you teach it to me, or you don't teach it to me, I'm gonna figure it out.
That's dope. You got to have that initiative to really kind of, propel yourself to keep learning. And of course you can have the people who like, all right, let's just go what the teacher goes. But then if you really have like that passion that's burning, like you can't stop, you can't put it down. Like,
Nah.
YouTube is a great resource nowadays. So literally, you can
YouTube University, bro. YouTube University.
Yeah. So that's how I learned a lot myself. And because you learn something in class, it's like, oh, that's cool. And then all of a sudden you hear some term on YouTube, it's like, wait, what does that mean? And all of a sudden, like, you catch up in your class and like, oh yeah, I heard this before. So you start to put it together. Oh,
Yep.
that's awesome.
So that when you said filmmaking, I forgot about this. I used to film skateboarding and like do the edits and just throw them up. Wow. Hey, I really have been just it just brought me back. I really just have been just creating stuff just for fun.
That's awesome. Like, especially like, if you really like, I don't know, it's like people think like, oh, I don't really have a creative bug, but like there's like, there's so many different things that are art now. Like, even IG posts, just like regular photos, like you try to find this right like angle for your selfie and in the filter, like you're putting something together for people to digest and look at. Whether it's like in different forms, like it just depends on how you look at it. Like people do all these TikTok videos. People go hard on TikTok nowadays. Just like, I see people like, it took me 3 hours to get this video just to kind of like cut it, get these like different videos, get these effects. Like, media is such a huge way of life now. Like, yeah. So I know the like feeling of kind of like you working to make a little video, especially on TikTok. Kids are really going hard on it, and it's such just a big part of kind of like what our lives is now. Because because back in 2013, kind of when we were like when we graduated, it's like IG and like Instagram were like really just coming out, so it was really kind of just getting a foothold in our lives. But kids nowadays who are graduating, that's like their entire lives.
Yep.
So they almost kind of have I would say a foot up, but it's just like I feel like more people have that creative bug, or you can get more of like a creative itch, or just because it's a digital age nowadays.
It's a digital age, and before we were like coming of age, it was like we see, I think they said 90% of things with the eye, like 90% of advertising, 90% of things we see with the eyes. Everything else we either hear or, something like that. Right. So now it's just like they continue to push the envelope because, like you said, Instagram had just came out. So like, yeah, you can post a video, you can post your picture, but like to put up an edited video, people thought you were like the man. They're like, yo, this guy knows how to edit video. Yo, we need to hire this man. Now it's just like you have it all in the palm of your hand. You can edit your TikTok and have a whole, like the TikTok, you would literally think like they had to do post correction, all that. They literally just did it off their phone and just uploaded it from there.
Yeah. It was just insane. And like, because now, like, which makes it harder in the workplace, I think just because, like, now it's not just like, all right, I got a video edit. It's like, all right, so now it's like about story. And it's about, what makes this cool. Like, if you can go even crazier and beyond with, like, special effects, especially with those, like, music videos with the neon animation, things that are, like, super popular now, which, I tried it. I've done some videos similar to that. It takes forever. Like, forever. But like, people who are really good at it can like really speed the process up, so you can kind of get a workflow going. But especially if it's something that you really like, it's easy. It's like put the music in and you just let it go.
You literally get in that zone of where you just like you kind of shut the world out and just get to it. Like when I get up in the morning, I get up, I stretch. Well, I've been going to the gym, stuck in the house, but I
Yeah.
found this video. It's like a video. It's like an hour-long video, but it's a video called Matthew McConaughey drinking coffee in the rain. And I just put that in my ears.
Really?
I know it sounds so weird, but it gets you in the zone where it's just like, it's just him. It's a video of him just drinking coffee, but the rain sounds and the music gets me like I'm in the zone. I can knock out projects left and right. So it's just like just getting flatly straight into that zone and just going from there.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, people have their routines. Like whatever gets you into your routine and getting you to being the most optimized you, I think you have to utilize it. You have to go for it like 100,000%. So that's really awesome. So you said, all right, so you finished, you stopped school. So what kind of got you to, I guess, where you're working at now? So where are you working at now?
So right now I freelance. I work with a couple different companies, just kind of like freelancing and contracted work. So I work with 120 Design Studio, which is like a design studio, and we do stuff for Eric Thomas, and we do stuff for entrepreneurs, so websites, logos, speaker kits, business cards, signage, stuff like that. And I work with another company, Business of Books Mastermind, which, we help with authors. So I take care of the book covers and stuff like that. And then I just freelance on my own. So I get people from word of mouth. My website, I've been working on my website for ages now, and I'm just like, I just need to put it up. But I have my Behance up, which is the cool thing. But I usually just freelance design logos. Pretty much anything you need, I can design it. If it's crazy enough to think about, 9 times out of 10, I could do it. But it literally, from me dropping out, I never would have thought I would be here, like getting this far into it. But I did not know what the heck to expect. I was like, oh, I'm just going to keep slinging these shirts, and that's it. And shirts went from one thing to another, and it was plenty of nights where I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea where this is going to go. I had no like long term where it was like, oh yeah, this is for sure. I want to design something. I want to build a billboard for Nike. I never had anything like that. I was like, yo, I'm just having fun creating. That's really, I just had the passion for it. I was like, I'm just having fun creating, whether it was me like photoshopping my friends and putting them on memes, or just making meme stuff. I have a shirt that says "Don't Drake and Drive," not a shirt, but a graphic that says "Don't Drake and Drive." And then I did another graphic that 808s and Debbie cakes. So I just I'm really having fun with it, just having fun.
Yeah.
And one thing led to to be honest, I don't even know how I got like bringing in clients. I don't even remember how. I just kept creating.
Right. And would you say that you initially kind of reached out to people, or you kind of got some attention attracted to you as you were just doing stuff?
In the early days, I think it really didn't pick up to when I moved to Atlanta. And I was like, I kind of want to do this, but I don't know how to go about it. I kind of just went on Craigslist and just started hitting people up. And that was a weird experience because
you never know what you're going to get there.
Yeah, I didn't. Number one, I knew what I was doing, but then I also wasn't like well versed of like the design world just yet.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, I'm gonna say throwing stuff together. Like I never forget this one client, and I doubt they'll ever hear this, but they wanted me to design some leggings, right?
Okay.
I was like, I have no idea. So I ended up finding like a mock-up and stuff like that. I came up with the pad. Like I had everything. I thought I was doing the stuff. Man, they was like, yeah, no, we're gonna go with somebody else. I think that was like my first like defeat where I was like, yo, what the heck am I doing?
Right.
It was a, like you were saying, that in that moment it could have broke me where like I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just gonna quit this, or I'm just like, I like this. I'm gonna keep going. And I'm glad I kept going.
Yeah. That's awesome. So now you kind of got the leg. Now you're working with a company, you're doing freelance yourself. Like, what has that been like for you? Has it been like super tough? Has it been rewarding for you? Is it, keep the flame going? How's it been actually making it your full-time gig?
At first it was tough because I was just like designing like nonstop, and I wasn't taking breaks. I would go like hours, maybe I would work design stuff for maybe 12 hours a day, sleep for a couple, and get back up and do it all over again. And just I was heavy into it, and it started taking a toll on my body. So it was just like, yo, I have to slow it down. But it's been the first initial steps. It was hard, stressful, hard, because I didn't know. I'd be like, oh, I got to pay my bills.
Yeah.
I think the first time where I realized like, yo, I really, really could make a career off this. One of my friends, this is back when I was working at Target. He worked at I want to say a real estate company, and they had me do a blueprint. First time I've ever had to do a blueprint, never got anything. I had like a huge, like the 60 by 90, like huge rollout cone, like the papers. And it was like, hey, can you design this parking lot and design all this? Never done it before. I was like, I guess I would try it. And I did it. He pushed me to do it. He was like, yo, just do it. They'll pay you. And they gave me a check. And that was my first ever like check from a company where I was like, yo, I could really do this real life. I cashed a check, of course, but I still have it.
Yeah, that's like that memento. Like you need, I guess that dollar bill.
Yeah, which is like, okay, this can really be something. And that's when after that I took it a little bit more seriously of trying to. That's why I went to YouTube University, just started picking up different skills, different things, because I was like, yo, if they're willing to pay me, I think at the time it was like $300, $400, which was like the most I've ever made. At the time, I was like, yo, okay, if they're willing to pay me this and I had no idea what I was doing, imagine if I knew what I was doing, somebody could pay me good for this.
Oh yeah, big money moves.
Yeah, that's why I just took it. I just literally put my head down and just got to it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's also when you kind of get that, like, really kind of get that make or break moment, especially like in a movie when you're just like, yo, is he going to do it? Like, that's kind of like how I felt with that situation. It's like, you're really kind of just like pushed to it. It's like a blueprint. It's like, what is this? It looks like Chinese to me. Like, I don't know what it is, but you know what? If you have that, especially it's really important to have someone guiding you or kind of like pushing you in the beginning to kind of keep it going, and just really making sure you grow. Or sometimes you can, if you're afraid to dip your toe in the water, you can just like shy away and just go back to the to the table where it's cool and stuff like that. You're not going to enjoy the deep end of the water, which can be scary.
Yeah,
but definitely you'll see a lot more benefits and growth.
And I give it to my parents because they taught me pretty much just to keep pushing myself. My mom's like determination to get stuff done, and my dad's like natural innate ability to just like hustle. He taught me majority of the business stuff that I know now and a little bit more. Okay. He was the one that he introduced me to the grind of like, look, you're grown. He literally told me once I moved there, he was like, yo, you're gonna have to figure it out. It's like, I'll help you the best that I can, but you have to figure it out. And I'm like, shh. I was stressed. I was like, yo, how the heck am I going to do this? But without him pushing me to do it, I probably would have still been like too timid to actually push myself and go forward and do it. So both my parents, I give it to them. I give it to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a perfect transition to like, you already kind of said your parents were big inspirations to pushing you. Is there anything else that inspires you, like just to do what you do, or also like things that inspire you for your art as well? So
for me to do what I do, I hate to be like that deep person, but I'm trying not to be, but
be deep. I'm cool with that.
So for me, it was just like, and I alluded to it earlier, just like providing that way for somebody else behind me that may not know. Just like me coming up, I didn't know what graphic design was. There may not be kids that know exactly what video directing or After Effects or any of that. They may not know what that is. So it's just like, that is what inspires me at the end of the day of just like, okay, I want to create a better door, a better opportunity to introduce either, whether it be entrepreneurship, whether it be graphic design, video design, music, anything like that. Just like, hey, this is what's out here. You don't have to go to school. If you don't want to be a lawyer, you don't have to be a lawyer. If you don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be a truck driver, you don't want to be that 9-to-5 salesperson, you don't want to do that, here's the options. And just like kind of give it to them, just like, hey, you can think with your head, not with your body, and just do whatever you want to do. I've met some of the coolest people, especially being in Atlanta, some of the coolest people that were getting paid like a couple $100, barely making it, but they were happy because they were doing something that they loved. And that to me was just like, you know what, it kind of fired me up to just like reignite that passion of just like, hey, this is what you're doing it for. Yes, you love to design, but design more for impact, your passion and impact. If I'm gone tomorrow, what will they say? You say, what will they say about me? So it's just like create an opportunity so that we're just like, hey, this guy, whether it be 2 people or 20 people, This guy introduced me to the creative space of, I want to be a creative writer, or I want to be, what else? An audio engineer, or I want to design ads. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it may be, just give them that opportunity. It's like, hey, the door's open. You don't have to go down that 9-to-5 path if you don't want to. If it's not for you, because I'm the person, I hate structure. Well, I like structure, but I hate structure. I hate routines. I'm like, I like organized, but I like disorganized organization, if that makes sense.
Oh, I'm 100% on the same path as you. Yes.
I hate it, but I'm just like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna do it because I love it. I'll figure it out afterwards. But yeah, between that and then just like my parents, you know, I lost my dad a couple years. It's coming up on 4 or 5 years, I want to say now. That one, he was kind of like one of the big driving factors. He would come home. He would be so excited when I would come home and design something. He was like, yo, I have this idea. And he would draw it. He used to do graffiti. So,
oh, really?
Creativity runs in my family.
Yeah.
So he would draw something up. I'm like, yo, how the heck did you do that? He was like, yeah, I've been doing it for years. And then he did custom cars and stuff like that. So creativity just runs in my family. He's the one that kind of taught me to tap into it and just be like, hey, you can be creative in anything that you do, break the rules, have fun with it. Just have fun with it. So that was the kind of like a big turning point in my life where just like, I lost my dad and it's just like, how do I go forward? I fell into like a really, really hard depression afterwards. And I got myself out and I found my way of getting out of just like, just creating, having fun, and just giving that same joy and opportunity that my dad would give to me about creating. Just try to give it to somebody else. The same, like that happiness, that giddy feeling of just like, you can do this. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You got it.
Right. You're paying it forward from what you learned, the game that your dad taught you, and you know what a great way to honoring him by just really just taking what he's taught you and just spreading out to as many people as you possibly can. And I know your dad's smiling down on you right now, just seeing you just, you know, being driving and successful. You haven't even scratched the surface yet, you know, which is insane to think about, you know, because when we're young, I joke that I'm like, oh, because I'm about to turn 25 this year, which is like, you know what I mean? But it feels. But like we're still young beings and we're still really just hungry at trying to get ourselves to what we think is success, what we want to be at. And, you know, just using the game, using the talents that your dad blessed you having from the jump, that's just awesome, you know, like, and you're doing something with it. I know he has a ear-to-ear smile right now. Because, I mean, I got an ear-to-ear smile just, you know, hearing you just talking about, you know, how your dad did graffiti and just like you somehow you know got that like those magical fingers through you know, and you're making graphic design, making art, you know, and then also not just keeping it for yourself but spreading it to other people, spreading game, which is I think it's a very important thing for us to do even as a young age. You know, most time OGs and old heads be doing it, but like, you know, you're starting young.
And I give it both my parents. I keep going back to this. Both my parents, both my mom and my dad would literally give you their last. You know what I'm saying? If it may make you happy or whatever it may be, they always had big hearts, and that's one of the traits that they gave to me, and I'm glad they did. Because it's like I will literally, no matter what it is, I will give. If it's a kid coming up, like, hey, you know, I really want to get into this, but I don't have the fun. Knowing me, I'd probably pay for the subscription for a year. You know what I'm saying? Do everything I could to help them out. And not even think twice about it, because if it's something you're passionate about, someone could come up to me and be like, hey, you know, a kid could be like, hey, I really want to get into this. I want to get into making beats, but I can't afford the software for it. I'd probably buy, you know what I'm saying? I'd buy it for him just because you know what I'm saying? I just want to give that to him, that same experience. Even if I don't even care if you just pick it up for a week. Like, yeah, I don't like it. Bro, I still gave it to you. I gave from out my heart, just to let you explore that creative path.
That's awesome. That's really awesome, man. Like, we need a lot of people like that. We need people who's willing to give their time and effort to other people, and that truly what makes this world amazing and beautiful people like that helps keep this world, turning and going.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to kind of talk about, you talked about kind of you have like your morning ritual. I've noticed that you've definitely since high school bulked up a little bit.
Yes,
You
sir.
were in the gym getting them gains.
Of course, I'm in the 200-pound club now, so I'm getting heavy. I'm getting heavy.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
up.
you can attest to it. I was a string bean in school. I was
very slender.
I think it was like 145. My senior year in high school, I was like 145. Yeah, really? I had the height, but I was just skin and bone. And I think I took weightlifting my senior year, and I probably say I gained 10 pounds. But after that, I think I picked it up just to, number one, to change my body, but then it kind of became my mental peace of like where I centered myself. If I was feeling upset, lost, anything like that, I would go work out, go for a run, or go skateboard or something like that, just to kind of like center myself and be like, okay, everything is gone. I can think with a clear brain. Nothing's going to throw me off my path. And even now, I picked up boxing, just different habits, just working out, getting up, kind of forcing yourself to do like the hard thing out of the day first. Because everybody, if you really don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to go to the gym. But if it's just like, okay, I have a goal I want to get to, I can't quit here. I can't just give up here. So let me get my behind up, work out for an hour, hour and a half, and get going. And usually when I work out in the morning, my day is 10 times better because I'm just like, I got the hardest thing out the way. Everything else, I can push 200 pounds off my chest. Right. Everything else is talk easy work now.
Hey, yeah. Plus that endorphin rush that you get, like it really just fuels you throughout the day. Like I know sometimes when I'm in the funk in the morning, if I have a day off and I know I'm just like, all right, work was crazy yesterday. Let me just kind of let me get a workout in, kind of get that stress off my shoulders. And then let me get that new energy to push me to do other things I need to do, whether I need to edit or if I need to, work on the podcast or whatever. And, working out is, it's a part of the lifestyle as much as kind of like finding inspiration, because you need to be in the right headspace to really kind of, all right, know what you got to do and kind of figure which path you're going to go. And work exercise has been, part of my life since, high school, especially, the history of me kind of being like doing weightlifting, like competitively in high school, whatever. Yeah. And so, and I kind of went away from it for a while. Like I would work out, but not really get into it. But then like now it's just like, now I know that it, connects me with my brain. And so I know I have to do it every single day.
And for me, it's like one of those things when I go to the gym, and it's going to sound weird, but I'm like, my brain sometimes doesn't shut off from designing and creating. Like I'll see somebody's shirt in the gym, I'm like, I could redesign. It would look cool if they did this. Or like, I'll be like, that shirt is actually kind of dope. If they add a little tweak here or something like that, like I'll in my head will just keep clicking. I'm just like, I could do that 10 times better. Or I'll just draw inspiration from certain things, certain colors or certain so I wouldn't say I'm diagnosed with synesthesia, which is like you can hear colors. So certain songs or certain, I know it's a couple people that have, I've done a quiz and it says like, yes, you have it, but I haven't like actually gone to the doctor to get it checked. Right. But like certain songs can bring up certain emotion or certain colors. So it's like, it's really, so if I'm in the gym and what's one of the songs out right now? They played All the Lights by Kanye in the gym. And I literally got like a kind of like a Technicolor, like I was just hearing the music and I got like this weird Technicolor like vibe in my head. So I came back home and I played the song again and I used that color, those colors that came to my head. It was like a green, red, a light gray, and like a blue. And I ended up using them in a logo design. I don't know, it just doesn't shut off. Like I draw inspiration from pretty much everything. I can see a car coming down the road. I've done it before where like I take the body lines from a car or like the tail lights and kind of implement it into a design. Like I think it's like the new Nissan, the tail light is kind of shaped like a R. Like it's shaped really interesting. So I kind of took the way they designed it. I kind of like took it back and just like kind of simplified it to use in somebody else's logo. So my brain just doesn't shut off from creating.
That's awesome. Like, that's really all I'm trying to collect. Like, That's really cool that you just use life as inspiration, you know,
Yeah.
and like, but in this, like, you know, I've never heard of like you said
Synesthesia? Yeah.
anesthesia, which is like, you know, I see like you kind of see that in like movies where someone like sees something like it visualize it, but then like when you said it, I was like, whoa, like that's really cool, like because I'm imagining how your brain would work and like how you know you. I'm trying to like actually like be in your mind right now when you was talking like, and I'm just like, that's how cool that would be just to really like see sounds, like that's really dope, and
It,
that's really
it,
cool, like, how you're.
it's cool because just certain songs, like if I listen to like uh give me an artist, any artist.
The baby.
Okay, if I listen to his music, his beats are kind of like the same, but I get automatically from his music, I'll get like yellow or like fall colors or yellows and oranges.
Yeah.
Really, it's weird. I can't explain. It's really weird. But if I listen to like Juice World, if I listen to him, I get more darker colors, more dark blues, blacks, gray, like heavy, kind of heavy feeling colors that like deeper emotion into you.
Right.
In comparison, if I listen to like a pop song, like if I listen to Katy Perry,
yeah,
like I get like those bubbly like pinks, whites, like the spring colors. So it's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think that's like a really cool like superpower to have. I consider that a superpower, to be quite honest with you.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Like that's really cool. Kind of since we are talking about music with, you know, your awesome superpower that you have, what has been your, I guess, the music that you've been listening to nowadays? This is what we call our most popular and famous topic on the show, music of the week. What have you been listening to, and what has been your vibe as of this past couple weeks or today?
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I'm not gonna lie. The other day, I found myself listening to Watch the Throne again because it came out 9 years ago. I think like on Saturday or something like that. So I listened to that again. I think right now between the new Logic album, which I need to finish.
Yeah. Oh.
I've always been a fan of Logic. I never forget when he came out with the project and around the year that we graduated high school.
So that's probably Welcome to Forever, the mixtape, or no, Under Pressure, which is I think Under Pressure was 2014.
Under Pressure, that's what it was. That I literally go back and listen to that all the time. So I need to listen to this last one. I started it, I didn't finish it, but between Logic, I keep bumping. I'm gonna give 5 because that's just that's just the mood. So Logic for sure. I've been listening to a lot of Nipsey lately. Nipsey gets me like into that hustle mode. I'm just like, yo, I gotta get this done. Doesn't matter. So I listen to Nipsey. A lot of Snow Allegra. A lot of Snow Allegra. I think.
I don't think I've ever heard of Snow Allegra actually.
I'll tell you, she'll have you ready to find somebody and slow dance with her at any moment.
Really?
Yes, I love her music. I want to say the song by her that I'm really vibing out to, I think, is "Dying for Your Love."
Okay.
Nipsey Hussle, I'll say that's How I Knew by Nipsey Hussle. Logic. I need to look at the project. Hold on.
Yeah, go for it. Take your time. I know one song that I really do like off of No Pressure is Soul Food 2, Growing Pains 4.
Growing Pains.
Yeah. Perfect is just that bouncy, like Juicy J type vibe, if you heard that one yet.
I think I stopped. I think I listened to Open Mic and Aquarius. That was the last song that I stopped at.
Okay. Oh, dang. You like just before. I think that's like
I'm right here on the edge. I'm right here on the edge.
Okay.
Hit My Line was good too. And then was it Amen? I think he did a video. I think he used Amen. And one of the songs that he used, and I was like, okay, now I definitely have to finish listening to this project.
Celebration's a really good like homage to like Kanye. Him and Solace, which is it's all the feels. The feels Celebration for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna finish it today.
Right.
Toby Nwigwe. Love.
I feel like I see that name.
You probably see because he does the song. He does Get Twisted Sundays. So every Sunday he comes out with a new song and a new visual for it. And everybody's been posting his stuff lately. He did that video, Arrest the Killers of Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I've been listening to that a lot with this playlist I've been listening to.
You just need to go back and listen to his project. He has bars. I'm not gonna front. He has bars. And the last person is Rumor, but it's spelled RMR. I love his music. He just came out, has an EP out. Drug Dealing is a Lost Art. You would not expect it's funny because he wears a face mask and gold grills, but this guy literally sings his heart out. Would not know. Yes, would not. He has a country song on here where he's singing, I want to say Rascal Flatts, but you would not expect it at all. It's really good. So those are my top 5.
Okay, I like that. We'll definitely we'll be blessing the playlist with those.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I've been listening to. Well, really, I'm so stuck on the same music. I've definitely been listening to Logic. Recently, I've been I would say discovering. You could say I've been discovering Dave East.
Okay.
I like on the last time I was talking with Jonathan, I recommended Night Shift, which is a really good song.
Okay.
Him and Lil Baby just kills it. So that's kind of my vibe right now. Let me see. Actually, I want to give a new song because I tried. My biggest thing is I tried to, try to discover, do like the good bit of discovering, but also digesting, new projects that are coming out. So it's kind of like a balancing act. Like sometimes like I haven't heard this person yet, but like I'm still listening to like, Russ's album from like a couple months ago. But it's just like, I just like, when you get into like that third time through an album, it's like really when you start to be like, dang, like that's crazy.
You start to break it, like it comes to a point where like you digest it from literally just going from, okay, my first time listening to it to like, you'll pick up on like, yo, he had horns blaring at 1:42 at this. I gotta run this back. Hold on. Or like you'll hear a certain bar and be like, oh, yo, he snapped on that bar. I think Russ had one song that I enjoyed. Shoot. I know it had a bunch of horns in it, and I know people like Russ is trash. Russ isn't bad.
You're talking about it's a song with Rick Ross. Guess what? I'm thinking.
I think so.
Like, yeah, because it had like Rick Ross on it, which was just like that elegant. Like I need a Maybach so I can listen to it, right?
Rick Ross makes luxury rap. Like Rick Ross makes me want to put on a fur coat and just like walk outside.
Like fur coat, butt ass naked.
Exactly. Just chilling, just like yep.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Shoot. Okay. So. Okay, I got 2 songs that I've been really listening to a lot the last couple of days. Yeah. So I've been listening to "Everybody Mad" by OT Genesis, which is just kind of like,
that's like my spiritual anthem. If I play that on, I'm just like, oh yeah, I get hype. It's just that hype song for me.
So I've been like shooting the hoops a lot. That's what I've been doing a lot to try like exercise, getting outside, shoot hoops for like 30 minutes or so. So I just have like a little hoop mix, which I'm building right now. So that's kind of like one of the first songs I got on it. So it just kind of gets me right and gets me into the mood. And then the second, well, I'm gonna give 3. I'm gonna give 3 now. The second one is "Broken a Minute" by Tory Lanez.
Okay.
Which is it's a good vibe. Like I'm trying to like for this playlist, I'm definitely been like it's kind of you gotta get the right tempo because especially when you try to get that sweat and going, you gotta push yourself with the right music. Sometimes if you listen to like the slow stuff
while you're trying to work out, you're just like, yo, I just want to cry if Adele comes on. So you gotta get that up tempo. You're just like, yeah, let me get into this mode.
Right. Yeah. And then the last song, which I can admit I wasn't a huge fan of at first because he was beefing with Logic. Because I'm a huge Logic fan. Joyner Lucas, it's The War with Young Thug. I mean, I love Young Thug a lot. This song is just I don't know, it just hits all the right notes for me. Joyner's spitting.
So I've been a Joyner fan since since high school.
Really?
He came out with, I want to say it was "I'm Sorry" or one of those songs. He came out with it back in the day, and I'm like, yo, this dude can rap. Yo, he has bars. And he kept going, kept going. So when I saw him and Logic get back together for ISIS, I was like, yo,
ISIS was insane, especially like because like he did the tweet. He did the tweet was like, all right, I got the song featuring like a random person. So it's like, who is it? And then also when it dropped, it said Logic. I'm like, it must be like a different Logic or something. And then also he like ripped like the thing off and he's just spitting. Oh man, that was a dope visual for sure.
It was Joyner and Logic. I would say Joyner is kind of underrated. He doesn't get the shine unless he's like doing like the stuff like "I'm not a racist" or "I'm sorry," or like certain like where he's putting out that message of just like kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say conscious rap, but like more aware rap of just like, hey, mental health is a real thing, or hey, seeing both sides. Which, I mean, if you're racist, you're a jerk. You should be racist. Don't be racist. But trying to hear someone talk about something, kind of creating that uncomfortable conversation that it's something that people know that's happening, but now it's on a bigger stage of like, yo, this is really a thing. So it starts that dialogue of just like, okay, if this is how you're thinking, why do you think that way? And trying to figure it out and either be like, okay, cool, they come out with a new understanding, or just like a new appreciate or a new hate for that person, which I hope it doesn't turn out to hate. I just hope it turns out for a new appreciation, but it opens that conversation to them. Just like, hey, if this didn't come out, we may not have had this conversation about mental health or suicide awareness or racism before. So I dig it.
Yeah, I can admit that at first I wasn't a fan, just because it was just because my loyalties. But then like, once they like meshed together, I just been listening to a lot more Joyner and really enjoying his music and his flows, like his like, because at first, of course, like guys who rap fast, that's what initially draws you to them, and then when you saw like, oh no, like he can break it down. He's especially the song with Will Smith, I thought that was amazing. And that was incredible. But it's just like he has a lot of range, and I do agree with you. He is very underrated. I think he definitely deserves more shine.
Yeah,
and so I've definitely, I'm Jordan Lucas. I'm gonna put this song on the playlist. It's really good. It's like, I don't know. It's just like when I need that right vibe. Like it's a really good vibe check for me.
Yeah, because he's not like mumble rapping, but he's not like hardcore rapping. It's like a perfect mix of just like, okay, if I want to zone out to this, I can. If I want to listen to the lyrics and the lyrics still have substance, I can. So it's not just him like just mumble rapping over the whole song, and the beats, the production, everything is always good. It's always that perfect. It's like that happy medium. It's like, if I want to get ratchet, I can, but if I don't, it's like right there in the middle.
Right. Yeah. Which is, I think that's what you want in your perfect artist. Like, because especially like, imagine like just playing like a ratchet artist, like, and you in the car, like, oh, you're picking up somebody, and you like, they come in the car like, what's this? Like, you kind of like, oh wait, let me change my playlist around. Like, I don't want to have to change my playlist to when someone gets in the car.
You're like, bro, we're just going to lunch. We're not about to go like fight somebody, bro. Like, calm down.
Exactly.
Like, listen to Juicy J at all. Like, I never forget in high school, people were bumping Juicy J left and right, and I'm like, yo, I can't bump Juicy J 24/7 like you guys do, because I don't have the energy to, like, I'm not about to hype myself up for no, like, bro, it's 8 a.m. I'm trying to go to school. I'm not about to listen to Juicy J, bro. I need to have a productive day here.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely was a guy, like, from the jump, I needed to be hype all the time. I couldn't listen to like conscious rap, right?
Yeah.
And then as I started growing older, I'm just like, yo, like I don't have that energy anymore. Like I just don't. So I'm like, so that's why like I've been really, getting more into like, because at first I was early on, I liked only J. Cole for the hits.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, J. Cole is just like, it hits like every notch and soul for me.
I don't see how people be like, J. Cole's boring. I enjoy J. Cole. And everybody's like, J. Cole just puts me to sleep. I'm like, J. Cole, he makes great music. I'm not going to be like, I'm going to play some J. Cole in the club. But I enjoy his music. I enjoy his music for what it is. He's a great artist, great lyricist. He
hasn't missed in a.
He hasn't. Him or Kendrick hasn't missed either.
I need Kendrick in my life right now, though. Some new Kendrick, beautiful.
Especially right now, I need somebody yelling at me, and then rapping. I need somebody yelling at me at the first half of the song, and then someone telling me not to be angry, like calmly, second half of the song. Like, that's what I need right now.
Like, I just feel like his next project is going to be some like outer space thing that it's like, yo, like I didn't think I needed this, but then also like, but you did need this. Like his concepts are insane. His production is through the roof, but he like gives you something that you didn't know you need.
Yeah, so. It's he like creates a weird environment / like storytelling of just like you get like you feel like you're embraced by whatever situation, wherever he's going through, you're embraced by it. I want to say it was To Pimp a Butterfly, or I think it was To Pimp a no, or was it You? One of the albums, he had the song You on there, where it literally started out him. He started out talking, and then like halfway through the song, it was like him being drunk and like, I can't stand you, didn't see this person, now he's not here. So it's just like that perfect mix of just like he literally creates that environment for you to be in. Just like I really feel like I feel exactly what you're talking about. You wouldn't even be in a situation like that, but you know, like the environment he creates just like literally feels just like you're right there with him.
Yeah, I think Good Kid, Mad City. What song is? I think it's like I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like he's like rapping, and then all of a sudden like he's like rapping about maybe being here tomorrow, and the next pop, 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 like you hear the shots, and then it's just like just the music playing, and it's just like, yo, that's real shit. Like when you like, you know, everything feels like it's just going along, you know, so it can just halt and just end like out of nowhere, which is like, you know, and that's so real, and I love it.
Yeah. Before I think around maybe 2014 is where I was just like, you know what? I need to kind of change where I listen to, because after a while, you know what I'm saying, you kind of grew out of what you would listen to, especially like in high school. You were just like, you had certain things you would listen to, but then like certain artists, the music just wouldn't work for you anymore. I used to listen to somebody used to listen to like crazy in high school, and I just kind of like Wiz Khalifa. I still love Wiz's music. I used to bump his music before. Now it's just like I listen to it here and there. I'm just like, it is what it is. But certain artists are there for kind of like phases in your life. Now it's just like, I listen to Wiz. I enjoy his music still, but I'm just like, I'm not in a rush to listen to the newest Wiz project or anything like that. Like I'll listen to it when I listen to it, compared to like a Logic or J. Cole or something like that, where I listen to that first. So
12:01. As soon as I refresh my Spotify music, like I'm pulling it up.
Yeah. So it's just certain things like they feed into what you think you're supposed to do, what kind of environment that you're supposed to kind of breed. Because I know when Jay-Z's 444 had first came out, I was like, yeah, let's do it. I enjoyed it. And I got older, and I was like, you know what? This is good. This is wow. Yeah. Then I started to hear him talk about wealth and financial literacy and stuff like that, and I was like, you know what? This album is good.
Like what you were saying is like how albums really just hit different when you're in that phase of life, and that's such like weird thing. Like when you have like a little bit of change in your life and you start listening, like, oh, I haven't listened to this in a while, and I like listen to like old, you know, like Good Kid, Mad City. I'm just like, oh, like I felt like I was still like that kid listening to it, but it just hits different. And I don't know. I think that's a beautiful thing. Like same thing with like movies for me. Like when I watched, what did I watch recently? Like School of Rock, right? So like it's like kind of like a cheesy movie, but then it's like, yo, but it still gives me that like that good feeling of like
nostalgic feeling.
Yeah, because it's just like, this is stupid, like goofy. Like Jack Black is insane, but like he kind of embodies like be yourself and be unapologetic yourself no matter what. And I love that.
I love Jack Black. Great artist, Tenacious D. He makes hilarious and amazing music. I've never heard a guy that size let his voice get that high ever. Amazing. And you said movies. I can go all day about movies. I'm like a movie connoisseur. I forget.
What's your top five? Do you have a top five?
So I do have a top five, but there's in no specific order, because they always change. So,
of course.
it would be Creed, the first one.
Okay.
The first Creed. Kill Bill.
Which one?
The first one. The first one.
Okay.
I think I was maybe like 14 or 15 watching that movie. First time I've ever seen just like blood splatter, gore, everything. I was like, yo, this is wild, but I can't stop watching. I can't stop. I want to say next would be, I want to say Drive with Ryan Gosling. And I know people are like, that is one of my all-time favorites. The soundtrack, the color direction, everything, the score. I'm that person that like if I watch a movie, I will literally, it has to be good for me to go back and listen to the score by itself, not them saying anything. With the previous other movies I named, I've literally gone back and just listened to the score by itself because they're just very good to me.
Quentin does it. Quentin does it with Kill Bill.
He just, I don't know what, he's a madman. He's a madman, but I love it. Yeah. Shoot. The next one I would say, dang, it was in my head and I lost it. Logan.
Ooh, Logan's pretty good.
Logan was one of I can literally sit back and watch that movie. And I'm a huge comic nerd, so when it came out, I was like, I have to go see this because I want to know how it turns out. Because they had the Old Man Logan timeline and they had the Logan timeline in the comics, and he dies two different ways. Same thing going on, but he dies in two different ways. So I wanted to see how they were going to turn it out. And the movie was phenomenal. I'm upset because when I was in Atlanta, there was a movie theater that showed it in black and white, and I did not go see it. And I was so upset. Oh, they had it in black and white, and I was like, oh, I should probably go see that. Missed it completely. I was like, dang it! I wanted to go see it. I missed it completely. That movie is a work of art completely. Hugh Jackman is phenomenal. The way they did it, phenomenal. My last movie, oof. This one's gonna be a tough one. I'm trying to think. Let me think. I feel like I'm definitely forgetting one where I'm just like, I can watch it at any time.
Yeah, that always happens when you kind of get on the spot. You're just trying to like compile your thoughts.
We'll stick with the 4 for now. If it comes back, if I remember, I remember.
Okay. Yeah, those are awesome movies.
What about you? What are your 5?
Oh, okay. So I recently did a list. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Like I've been like really heavy on this. There's this app called Letterboxd where it's a social media / like you can review movies and rate them, and you can also like list all them because I'm trying to see like how many movies I've actually seen. And so you can like click on like watch, like, and then rate it 5 stars. And it's like a social media thing. It's like, I guess it's social media. Yeah. And so like, I've been on it heavily, just trying to like, I've been like scrolling for hours, just like, I seen this movie, just so I can see like the actual number of movies that I've watched. And I think I'm up to like, it's pretty low right now. I think I'm like around 200 movies. So it's like, I'm trying to see, cause I still haven't like gone through like heavily just like search. So like, as I watch new movies, I'm like add it to it. But hold on, let's see. I got like a list. I got these are where we at? Here we go. All right. So okay, so this I had a list of movies that just really affected me in life that just like I just have like distinct memories from. Yeah. So like Hitch is one of those movies that in middle school I was just like, yo, like Alex Hitchens, like I wanted to be that smooth guy and stuff like that. So like that's like heavy impact on me. I said School of Rock earlier. Wolf of Wall Street is like my jams, like to the T, like. Oh, I love that movie so much. Like I found it on DVD recently, and I had to put it to the collection. I don't know that energy from that movie just gets me. I love Martin Scorsese. Him and Quentin Tarantino are definitely my top two directors. Ryan Coogler is also one of my favorites. Of course, with the Creed and Fruitvale Station, and then Black Panther.
I can't find myself to watch Fruitvale Station because I know, like I'm a sucker for certain movies. I know I'll cry or be upset, so I'm just like, I know the ending, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it.
You gotta like really get yourself like, you gotta get in that right mindset, just like you know, or just like ready. You know what? Let's just let it flow tonight. Let's just let it flow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Of course, Pulp Fiction. I'm just a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I've written papers on Reservoir Dogs. I've written probably like 3 different papers on Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs was a good one.
Great. Pulp Fiction. Of course, you got Hateful Eight and Django and Inglourious Bastards. I still haven't seen the latest one, Once Upon a Hollywood. That is on me.
I haven't seen it either.
So I need to watch that pretty soon. But
yeah,
those are pretty much. I'm trying to think of any other movies. Those are movies I can think of. Those are my easy answers. Also, I'm a big Adam Sandler fan. That's like a childhood thing that I can crush. Uncut Gems, by the way.
I still need to watch it.
Oh man, that movie is just like, it got snubbed so hard because that is like the kind of movie that like really hits me in terms of like film, like as like filmmaking, like being, because it's just like, I don't want to ruin anything, but like it's just like the acting was perfect, then the costume design was really awesome, and the performance by Adam Sandler. Julia Fox, I don't know if you know this name, but when you watch that movie, you're going to follow Julia Fox on IG.
Say no more.
She is fine, bro. God, but that's like one of the movies. It's like, it's a little dark, but then it's like, it's a good fast movie. It has a little comedy spots. Like it's like it hits a lot of spots perfectly. It's a good watch. It's about 2.5 hours roughly, I think, but it just didn't feel like it. It just was moving. Like it was like a good moving movie, which I love. Because sometimes like you always get that middle plot point where it just kind of stops a little bit. You got like it kind of sluggish on to get to the final thing. But yeah, I recommend it 1,000%.
Okay, I definitely. I think it's on Netflix now, so I'll definitely check it out.
Which was, that's also a big thing. It's just accessibility. So being on streaming services is like a huge thing.
You know how bad I really want to be in a movie theater right now? Like I would love to go to a movie. We have drive-ins here, but they're not playing anything new. So I'm just like, there's no point in me going. The other day they had a double feature with like Jurassic Park and Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm like, they don't have anything to do with each other. It was like the 90s Jurassic Park. So like,
was it? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not even about to go see this. Now one movie that I am excited for and I really want to see is Tenet. We
did a review on the trailer on the previous episode. Yo, I don't even know I still don't know what the movie's about, but it's like, it looks so good.
It looks good. The main actor, I want to say, is it James Washington?
John Washington.
There we go. I just found that out the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, hold on! I didn't know that." He said in an interview that he used to lie and say his dad was like a construction worker, so he would get the jobs based off his talent. But yes, I love him as an actor. When he was in what else? He was in Ballers on HBO, and I loved him in that.
So good.
He's just a really good actor. I love him.
Yeah, that's really good. Also, okay. If you have Amazon Prime, Knives Out is one of those movies, because I love, my favorite movie, or I love 90s cop movies. I really like which Die Hard is. I forgot. I should have said Die Hard.
Die Hard was a good one too.
Yeah. But Knives Out, because I really love like those like soft, like murder mysteries, kind of like heist movies and stuff like that. Who done it? Those just, oh my god! I just feel like this is like, a blanket wrapped over me with those kind of movies. And I'm just like in it. Those I just love it because I love my mind working, because I'm not just watching it. I'm like in it.
You're taking everything in.
Exactly.
They get all the senses. And just like invest you into it. It's not like you just kind of watch a movie, they tell you about a character, they keep it pushing. No, like they invest in the character to reach like, yo, I love this character. Either this character is going to be the hero or this character is going to die and make you cry halfway through the movie. So yeah, I love when people do that, where it's just like they get all the emotions and just like kind of shove you in there, just like put you in there. And you're just like, yo, this, okay. I had emotional connection to this character. Yeah. I love when directors do that. They write it out perfectly to where you're either like, yo, I love this character. And you're just like, all right, you know what? I hate this character now. Or it's just like, I love this character and I'll continue forever loving this character. Just because certain actors play a role so well that they you end up not liking the actor that plays them outside of it. There's certain actors that's just like, yo, I really like, even outside the role, like, yo, I don't like them as an actor just because you got so invested in them playing a certain like a villain role or something like that, or like they betrayed somebody in a certain role or a certain movie. You're just like, yo, I can't stand up for that. I can never forgive him.
Right. Yeah. And that's what, like, when a movie does its job perfectly.
Yeah.
One last thing that I really like is, have you seen the show You?
Yes. I get jokes all the time because my name is Joe, and I get the joke. He took my middle name too, so I was like, yo, I can't do anything without being referenced back to this.
Yeah, that show, like, I mean, I ate it up. Like, I mean, because, like, I just love that they make him the main character. You have to, like, decide, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? And I love when they put that on me, because I'm like, but he's doing this creepy thing, but he's doing it in the good kindness.
He's doing it for a good reason. Like, you kind of like, you try to make it make sense. You're just like, I mean, he is kind of wild and stalking this person, but he's also protecting them from this. But you're just like, yo, you're kind of weird. But
it's amazing. It's just like, especially like how they do it with like the voiceovers when you hear his thoughts. So it's like all his thoughts. So then it's like it start making me think like, wait, I kind of think like this. Wait, no, I don't. But yeah, that's also like just a well done TV show.
Yeah,
I just love. But we just movies and music is just like two of the greatest things in my opinion. Because you can just dive deep into and they can just really just hold really long lasting impacts on your life, especially as you grow old. You're still gonna remember like The Waterboy when you first watched it. So when exactly, like when I show my kid that, like when I show my kid that, like I just feel like, yo, when I was this is like how I was going, and it's just like I know like this is stuff that I want to carry long lasting.
Like movies like Angels in the Outfield, or like the Ninja Turtle movie, like the original Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah.
What else?
Let me tell you something, son.
Exactly. Like sit down, like watch Mighty Duck, like certain things where you're just like, yo, these were the movies when I was growing up that you have to watch. And then 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to ask you, yo, were you alive during this? You'd be like, yeah, I mean, I was. But don't call me old. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah.
So yeah, those you gotta pull out the gems.
Yeah, you do. But we definitely pulled out the stops for this interview. This was a great talk. I mean, it kind of flew by.
Yeah.
One last thing before we kind of wrap things up is, do you have any advice for people who are looking to do graphic design, who want to kind of just, make that leap, as we were talking, like, sometimes, it's hard to make that leap to doing what you want to do. Like, what would your inspiration or your advice be for someone looking to maybe make that jump?
Trust your gut. That's really it. Trust your gut. When it comes to designing or any type of artwork, you're the only person, like, you have the idea in your head. You're the only person that can execute it the way that you want to execute it. So when it comes down to it, trust your gut. Now, if somebody has advice to like make it a little better, sure. But at the end of the day, just trust your gut and break the rules. That's really it. Break the ruls. Break the rules.
I like that. Trust your gut and break the rules.
That's it. So
before we go, you want to go ahead and plug anything you're working on, your social medias, whatever. Just open floor for you.
Really, just follow me on Instagram at JoeVGFX. That's really where you'll see pretty much everything, whether it be me working behind the scenes on designs or how I came up with designs. That's really where I post everything. Be on the lookout, clothing, and I'll probably announce it on my Instagram with my clothing line dropping later this year. I have, that's really it. I just have everything on Instagram. If you want to see some behind the scenes stuff or my crazy ideas, how I would redesign something and how I would see it, just go to my Instagram. That's really it.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this crazy talk, starting from your journey to then we just geeking out on movies and music, which is the perfect. I feel like this is the perfect interview. Yeah. This was awesome. I hope, everyone who's watching this or seeing this or have enjoyed, have gotten some good tidbits from it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And this has been another episode of Inside the Box with CJT Creations. Like always and forever, keep it creative.